Ugh, it's really burning. Oh, it is itchy.
Pain is universal, but what shapes us is how we deal with it.
That was pretty intense. Oh my God, my eyes are watering.
I'm traveling to the Amazon rainforest to willingly expose myself to some cultural traditions that aren't for the faint of heart.
Holy!
I'll be guided by the Yukuna, an indigenous group that believes suffering can heal sickness and develop mental resilience.
Ow, and it gets worse.
My challenge? To withstand one of their most extreme rituals, being stung by fiery bullet ants. Will the pain be my path to personal growth, or simply all pain and no gain?
I'm having second thoughts.
I'm Eva Zubek, and this is Superskilled. Today, I'm making my way through Leticia, the southernmost city in Colombia, and where all roads lead into the Amazon rainforest. I'm hoping to enjoy one last pleasure of city life.
¿Tienes un café?
Sí, claro.
Gracias.
Before I go off the grid and into the jungle.
Well, this is pretty much the last stretch of pavement before the Amazon begins. And for the next few days, we're not going to have much access to running water, or power, or cell signal. In fact, no luxuries or comforts, pretty much. Anyway, I better get going because I'm supposed to be meeting our producer somewhere where the road ends.
This was just the first leg of my journey into the Amazon. I was heading north to the outskirts of Leticia to meet our producer, Dan. Together, we would trek deeper into the rainforest.
Hey!
You made it!
Finally!
Welcome to the end of the road.
Ooh. Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
There would be no motorbikes from here on out. We were off on a hike into the forest to meet members of the Yukuna indigenous community. The Yukuna have lived in the Colombian Amazon for centuries. But like so many other indigenous communities, booming industry pushed them from their ancestral lands. Some have been able to rebuild elsewhere in the Amazon and preserve their ancient cultural traditions and rituals.
Wow!
Buen dia!
My mission will be to experience some of the rituals that the Yukuna believe make you stronger and more resilient.
Buenas! Mucho gusto, Eva.
This is Fermin. He's a Yukuna shaman and healer, and a well-respected elder in the community.
Entonces la cultura, la gente que viene visita, siempre nosotros ofrecemos primero tucupi, cassava.
Cassava is a root vegetable, also known as yuca, and it's a pretty staple food in the Amazon. Here, they've made it into a kind of flatbread with a dipping sauce made of fermented cassava juice called tucupi.
Oh, chico.
After our welcome snack, Fermin explained that the structure we were standing in is called a maloca.
Que un lugar para uno trabajar, o sea, un rezo.
It was handmade by the community and serves as a spiritual gathering space for dances and ceremonies. I would be participating in several of those ceremonies, but there was a catch. Many of these rituals are also tied to the sensation of pain. And I'd be building up to one of the most painful, the bullet ant ceremony. But right now, it was time for the next step in my welcome.
Ah, es para mí?
Sí, para ti.
Alberto brought me outside to paint my face with a red dye made from the seeds of the achiote plant, which is native to the Amazon.
Entonces nosotros pintamos la cara a las mujeres para quedar más bonita, para poder conquistar cuando bailan. ¿Listo?
Ah, sí. Ok.
No tienen que echar un poquito de saliva acá. Escupe acá.
¿Cómo?
Usted mismo.
Smell it?
Ajá,
Oh,
escupe,
yeah?
escupir.
Spit.
Oh, spit. I have to spit
Saliva
into
ahí.
this?
Sí.
Did not expect that.
Sí.
Ok, listo.
¿Listo? Bueno, ahora sí.
Okay, here we go. So this is the welcome that you get into the Amazon rainforest. I'm told that this is supposed to turn out to be a butterfly, so I'm really curious to see the results. Stop smiling.
Estas son las alitas, ¿no? Pero no parecen mucho a mariposa. Estas son alas.
The wings were meant to help me along on my travels.
¿Listo? Ahí te quedaste.
Like a butterfly?
sí.
Can you see the wings?
Next, they drew an anaconda on my arm to help me adapt to the forest. And with that, my first ceremony was complete. We'd now be moving on to a couple more advanced Yukuna rituals with Fermín inside the maloca. The first involved the rapé, which is tobacco roasted down into a fine powder.
El tabaco es muy importante. Con ese hay mucha curación.
The tobacco dust is inhaled through the nose. Fermín uses it during healing ceremonies to improve his own concentration. And according to him, it can cure a long list of ailments for his patients.
Se quita todo de cabeza, limpia parte del cuerpo, a veces limpia sinusitis, bota gripa, quita hambre.
That all sounds great, but remember when I said that pain is central to many Yukuna rituals? Well, apparently, I was about to get my first taste.
So I've heard that if you've never taken rapé before, if you've never tried it before, that it can be quite intense and overpowering. Is that something that I can expect?
Así, un poquito, ya.
Okay.
Un poquito means a little bit in Spanish. And Fermín insisted I would only be trying un poquito of the rapé.
But he also said that some people throw up and faint after one sniff.
I was nervous, but the Yukuna believe that targeted pain can strengthen the body and the mind. And I was here to trust in their process. Fermín even demonstrated with Alberto, just to put me at ease.
¿Cómo es? ¿Bien?
Doesn't look too terrible.
Just a little bit. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so
¿Preparado?
right here.
Poquito.
What?
Poquito. No es poquito.
That was pretty intense. Oh my god, my eyes are watering. Oh, I can feel it dripping down my throat.
¿Preparado otra vez?
Wow, that was intense.
Okay.
One more?
Poquito. Puedes sentar un rato, después tomar algo, si quieren estar que sentar.
Oh, you know, he says it's poquito, but even a little poquito is a little mucho for me right now. Oh, it's really stinging up my nose. It's really intense. It's like a burning sensation. And there's this like bitter flavor running down my throat.
It was definitely a shock to the system, but my mind did feel sharper and more energized. Unfortunately, that only lasted about a minute.
Do you think that going through this first ritual is going to help me get through some of the next rituals that we'll be experiencing over the next few days?
No, sí, ese está bueno, pero después último ya yo dije cómo va a seguir usted, si va a ser bien o mal. Yo creo que va a salir bien.
I hope so too. I still had one last ritual to go today. I will be trying mambe, or coca, toasted and ground into a powder. I know what you're thinking, and it's not that other coca-derived powder. This one is all natural and is only a mild stimulant to aid with focus during prayer ceremonies. And you don't snort it, you chew it.
Wow. So I just put it in my mouth?
No,
Yeah.
hablamos 5 minutos.
You don't swallow.
Since I couldn't swallow the mambe, I had to gracefully spit it out in some bushes.
God, my mouth is numb. My nose is still tingling. I feel like this has been a very strong welcome. Welcome to the Amazon.
Even though they were exposing me to some unpleasant feelings, the Yukuna were so kind and warm. And while there was even more discomfort to come, I felt grateful to be here.
Pretty intense first day. And I guess if the point of being here is to learn about pain and resilience, then I really am in the right place. I mean, Fermín is one of the last true shamans, one of the last true medicine men in this region. I couldn't imagine anyone better to help guide me on this journey. But for now, I'm honestly feeling all that tiredness kicking in. I'm just really excited to go lay down in a hammock and get some rest.
It was a slow start the following morning, which was honestly a nice break from the excitement of our arrival yesterday. After having some breakfast, Fermin's wife, Virgilina, wanted to show me around the community that this Yucuna family have built for themselves.
¿Entramos?
Sí, entramos.
She gave me more insight into how the maloca was built.
Eso quedó especialmente para hacer malote, esos palos, porque duran años y años y eso no se daña.
The center of the maloca is where ceremonies are held. The outer areas are for cooking and resting.
This maloca has such a beautiful, magical, calm vibe to it. You just kind of want to stay here, get a little cooped up. It just feels so cozy. Es muy bien, una muy buena energía.
Ah, sí.
Virgilina then invited me to see the rest of the settlement,
Esta es la coca.
including where they sleep and the well pump where they get fresh water. After our walk around the village, the plan was to venture into the rainforest to search for an ingredient for a later ritual. But apparently, Fermin needed to help me prepare for this.
So it seems to me like there's a bit of an unspoken rule here. You don't just go into the rainforest with like no prep. So I'm about to get sort of initiated, I suppose is the word, to be able to go into the rainforest. So there is a little ritual that we are about to experience, which will give me protection while I'm out there in the trees. All I know is that it involves chili peppers, which sounds terrifying enough.
Se va a tomar así por nariz, no, muy poquito,
Un poquito.
poquitico.
¿Por qué es importante eso para el bosque?
Va a ser para que quite todo el dolor, o sea, el dolor del cuerpo, limpiar la cabeza, andar camino, o sea, monte, bien pues.
¿Duele?
Ese es mejor de más que primera vez.
His answer didn't exactly inspire confidence. Fermin combined the chilies with water, then strained the mix through a cloth, releasing the chili's oil. In the meantime, our local fixer Goran explained the ritual in a bit more detail.
Let it run until you feel it here, then you can swallow it. And don't look down because maybe some chili will run down and then it will burn here, you know, you will have a really red nose.
Goran, you've lived in the Amazon for like almost 30 years. Have you done this ritual?
No, not yet.
Why not?
I don't know, I like to do funny stuff.
Not scary stuff.
Yeah, not pain.
Oh my gosh, I can smell the chili spice from here. I can smell it. It's so spicy, it's so strong. You know, if I was putting this in my scrambled eggs, I would be excited, but this is a little different.
I was hesitant, but I had to push through.
You know, I'm not gonna overthink it. We're just gonna do it.
Ya sabes, acá pequeña mirando hacia arriba, después pasa y ya.
Just gotta remind myself that I'm here to learn from the pain. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's really burning. It's really stinging. Oh. Oh, God, I think I'm starting to sweat. I can feel it dripping down my throat.
It took several minutes for the burning to subside.
I think we're on our way out. Whew. Oh my God, I'm so dizzy. I'm like seeing colors everywhere.
Touch your eyes.
Ooh. Thanks for the reminder. I feel like I'm low-key shaking like on the inside. Like I feel like that chili has just caused me some weird internal like trembling. I can't really explain it. It's like I feel a little fragile. I can definitely see why the Yucuna would believe that this ritual clears your head, because literally, viscerally, very, very physically and intimately, it really does.
With a very clear head, I was ready for a walk in the jungle. We walked single file, down a barely recognizable path.
Es la posición muy segura.
No, todos son iguales peligrosos.
¿Sí?
Sí, el que va adelante le pica las serpientes y el que va atrás le coge como el tigre. Y lo que está en el centro lo mata el palo, cae encima. Ese no es tener cuidado, ¿listo?
There's no safe places.
Sí, todo igual. Ajá.
It's all
Tenga que
dangerous.
pisar bien.
Okay, let's go, I guess.
Well, at least he had a sense of humor about the dangers out here. I was starting to realize that to live in the rainforest, you have to be able to overcome fear. And these painful rites of passage were all part of that.
In the trees.
In order to continue my initiation into the Yukuna way of life, we were searching for some special participants, wasps. A wasp's sting is believed to improve physical strength, and the pain prepares you for life in this dangerous place. While we looked for a nest, the guys pointed out plants that serve as traditional cures. And latex seeping from rubber trees.
And this is rubber.
And even moss that can be used as a jungle towel.
Para limpiar, ¿sí?
The Amazon has almost everything you could ever need, except the one thing we were looking for.
No está.
No? No,
El animal lo comió.
Wow. So this is all that is left of the wasps. Okay. Well, they're not there. So we can't do the ritual since the wasps have moved somewhere else. And honestly, I'm not sure if I'm disappointed or relieved because this was going to be a painful one.
Empty-handed, we started the walk back to the village. But on the way, Fermín and Alberto found me a consolation prize.
¿Qué es eso?
Estamos sacando mojoy.
Mojojoy.
Sí. Y ese mojoy se saca para comida muy especial. Se puede comer crudo, se puede comer asado, cocinado. Ahí puede...
Holy!
Mojojoy are, wait for it, a type of palm weevil larvae.
No! Oh my God, look at that!
Este es el más pequeño.
Oh.
Muy rico.
There is absolutely no way.
Muy rico.
No.
Ahora te toca.
No.
Cógelo.
Oh, no.
Ellos no mueren.
No, bueno, es de comida.
So disgusting. Oh my God.
I eat one, you eat one.
No, that is not a deal. I think that is one line I just don't think I can cross.
They were just too wriggly. Plus, I'm a vegetarian. So, larvae were off the menu, for me at least. I think I'll stick to the cassava back at camp. What was still on the menu for me was the culmination of all the Yukuna rituals I had experienced so far. The infamous bullet ant ritual.
Buenas.
Tomorrow, Fermín and the guys will be placing up to 10 conguilla ants on my arms as part of the ceremony. And unlike the larvae, they do bite.
Mañana, sí, en la mañana.
Sí.
Amazonian communities have practiced a version of this ceremony for generations as a rite of passage into adulthood. I wanted more insight on what it meant to the Yukuna.
Poderoso. Él cuando él dejó esos hormigas, esos 10 días, esta hormiga queda, con él se va a curar.
Fermín says that the ant's sting cures any chronic pain you might already be feeling.
Cabeza, de pronto reumatismo, columna, ese se cura acá, no adentro.
What do you recommend I do to kind of prepare myself mentally for the pain?
Para que usted reciba bien, o sea, curación, reciba con calma, con fe y creerlo, ahí sí ya.
Staying calm would be the real challenge. I would have to remain stoic rather than panicked for the ant's medicine to reach its maximum potential. I asked the others in the group what their experiences have been.
Yo creo que es como candela. ¿Alguna vez tocáis candela que usted pique? Es idéntico a la hormiga.
As painful as that sounds, comparing the bullet ant sting to touching a flame is a bit of an understatement. One study described the feeling as walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch nail in your heel. What's worse, if a person is stung enough times, it could kill them. With that in mind, we thought it would be helpful to do a test run with a single ant.
Firmin is gonna go into the forest to go and find me an ant. This is just a little trial, right? So I'm only just going to try one little sting, see how that feels, and kind of mentally prepare for what's to come tomorrow, which will be a much bigger ritual with multiple ants. I felt like I just needed a little warm-up, so to speak, so let's see how this goes.
Bien duro.
We have got our ants here. There's about 5 of them inside this little plastic jar. And the important thing now is that I cannot flinch. I'm not allowed to flinch. Basically, if you flinch, you fail the ritual. So that just makes it that little bit harder. Solo una, ¿sí? Solo una. Okay. Oh my God. Why am I doing this? ¿No te pique? Oh my God, here it goes, here it goes, here it goes.
It looks a bit rough, but no ants were harmed during this trial. The ritual requires you to quietly process the pain internally while concentrating on your desired intention. But since this was just a test run, I failed because I flinched. Big time.
That is not a pleasant feeling. That is not a pleasant feeling. It really does sting a lot. It's I don't even know what to compare it to, but it feels like a really strong insect bite. Ow! And it gets worse.
Peor no que entre más un poquito después se va creciendo el dolor.
Oh my God, it's still stinging and it just keeps on intensifying. It's getting more and more and more intense. I can't believe I signed up to do this multiple times tomorrow. That might not be a very good idea, honestly, you guys. It's pretty intense. It's like the pain kind of like seeps into your bones.
As time passed, the bite became swollen and red.
It's still stinging. It's been like half an hour and it really is still stinging. I feel like I failed this first test because you're supposed to remain calm and stoic while the ant is biting you so that you take in the ant's medicine calmly, which I did not do. I flinched because it hurts. It really stung. But I guess tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow is really the big test. Tomorrow will be a really big one with many ants on both of my arms, and the plan is to try and, you know, kind of journey through the pain with peace and clarity.
I was starting to get a feeling that this challenge would be much harder to bear than I thought, given how I reacted to just one ant. There was nothing more to do now but nurse my wound and turn in for the night. I'm finally in bed, well, in my hammock. And honestly, my arms are still aching, they're still stinging. Much less now, obviously, but I can still feel the burning sensation, and I just don't know how long it's going to last. Hopefully, not another day. I can get to sleep. The morning of my challenge, I still had some lingering soreness from the previous day's bite. As a bit of a distraction, Virgelina wanted to show me more about her role in the community by taking me to the Chagra, a family farming plot just outside the village in the forest. It's the women who usually maintain the chagras and gather the crops. She applied achiote, the same red dye from the butterfly face paint, on my first day here.
Para que no queme tu cara del sol, él protege la cara de uno.
Virgelina's mother, Elvira, was joining us too.
Muy bonito, ¿no?
Natural SPF.
Estamos listos.
Ya.
Caja.
Actually, we weren't quite caja, or ready in Yucuna. There was one more thing we needed to do.
Voy a sacar
And of course, it was another exercise in pain.
esta ortiga.
Ortiga.
Sí, o sea, antes de ella la chagra, eso no bueno. Uno le echa, o sea, ahorita como me duele mi rodilla, no me toca echar
Antes de entrar a la chagra,
la chagra.
¿por qué?
¿Ah? Es para, o sea, como sanarse, porque a veces le duele acá, la mano, aquí el brazo. Entonces, para que uno no siente el dolor, entonces uno se echa esto para que pase el dolor, para poder trabajar sin dolor. Ajá. Sí, mire, ¿puede echar?
All right, so you basically conquer pain with pain. This is the thinking. Ooh, it is itchy! Ah, it stings! These little bits that kind of stay in your skin, this is way worse than the stinging nettles that I am familiar with.
Se remedio.
I wasn't quite sure what kind of work we were preparing ourselves for, but now we were caja.
Vamos a la chagra?
Ahora sí vamos a la chagra.
And as we walked, they showed me various plants that make up the Yucuna diet. There were plantains
Plátanos, sí?
Plátano.
Okay.
and palm fruits and peppers
These look really dangerous.
and of course cassava. Finding them was one thing. Getting them out of the ground is a whole other challenge.
¿Va a arrancar?
Sí, okay.
Ajá.
Juntos.
No, sola, sí, no.
Solo, yo sola.
Sí.
No, pienso que es muy difícil, ¿no? Es muy duro. No, no puedo. Sí, tú eres muy fuerte.
I can see now why Virgelina needed to treat her body aches with ortiga.
Honestly, I have no idea how she did that. That was impossible. Look at it. It was like an anchor in the ground.
The ladies pulled a few more yucca and we headed back to the maloca.
Selfie con achote.
This time with Virgelina was exactly what I needed to take my mind off the challenge. But soon, I would have to face it, and the pain that comes with it, head on.
Dan, talk to me about what you're prepping right now.
I'm prepping stuff for anaphylaxis, basically serious allergic reaction. I didn't like how Eva was swelling yesterday, and it's good to be prepped. It's not the first sting that normally gets you, it's later stings for things like bees or wasps or ants. And so we want to be ready in case she has a major allergic reaction. We're a bit far out, so at this point as medic I would have to manage an emergency situation that comes up for a while until we can get out. And so I'm loaded up with allergy meds and EpiPens and stuff that would be needed to manage Eva if she goes into anaphylactic shock out here in the field until we can get her back.
Finally, the time had come for my challenge. Enduring the Yucuna bullet ant ritual. I had spent the last couple of days experiencing other Yucuna rituals, almost all of them involving some kind of discomfort.
Honestly, I'm getting cold feet.
But this felt like a whole new level.
Just need to go there and do it.
With more meaning and more pain. The weight was already heavy on my shoulders.
¿Todo es listo?
Sí.
Okay, un momento. So this is it. It's ready. I know that this is what I've come here for. I've come here specifically to experience this ritual and to experience the pain that comes along with it and all the lessons that come along with that. But I guess just being here all of a sudden feels like a lot, and I know it's going to be intense. I just need to remember that choosing the harder path and choosing sometimes the painful path does make you a more resilient and stronger human being, and that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for.
walk to Fermín felt endless.
Pueden seguir.
Gracias.
Acá.
A picar hormiga, usted siente un dolor, como calentura. Entonces ese de ahí hay que aguantarlo, hay que recibir eso con mucho respeto y hay que tener fe en eso.
Focus and respect. That means just staying calm. Okay.
I was given both rape and mambe to increase my concentration. And then first, they just crawled. And soon, I felt the first sting. My intention today was not to ignore the agony or distract myself from it in any way. I wanted to feel each and every bite completely. The burning was so intense, I didn't know if I could bear the pain quietly for much longer. The next time I opened my eyes, everyone had left. Fermín wanted me to sit alone with the pain. And so I stayed there and ventured inward. Time slowed down for a moment, and in my mind's eye, I could clearly see the ant venom working its way through my body. I stayed with it. My mind kept coming back to the ants over and over again, reminding me of their medicine. Eventually, the pain subsided, but it didn't fully go away.
When they started stinging me, it was like a really sharp, burning pain, like someone is just burning your skin in one spot. But the thing is that the pain doesn't go away. It's not like an instant thing. It just keeps burning. It's like a fire that just keeps on burning, and it kind of comes up again in waves for hours. And I really felt like screaming, but I just sat with it. And I'm still sitting with it.
After sitting and processing my feelings, the community came together to celebrate. And I was invited to join them. The honor was overwhelming.
Oh my gosh. That's just restored all of my powers and energy. How incredible. Oh, magical. Whew. I felt magical. Like a trance.
The following morning, I bid farewell to Virgelina, Fermín, and the rest of the family.
Muchas gracias. Fue un placer recibir a usted acá.
Gracias.
As I made my way out of the jungle, my arms still tingling, I thought about how my own relationship to pain has changed because of my time here. In our day-to-day lives, we actively avoid pain and discomfort. But what if we redefined our relationship to it and instead stared it in the face? Could we be stronger for having endured it? The Yukuna think so, and now I do too. I'm not sure I would submit to bullet ants again, but I'm leaving the rainforest feeling braver than before and ready to take on my next adventure.